So today we're going to finally get the kitchen unit in place. But before we do that, there's a couple of tasks that we've got to finish off first. Hey, if you're new here, we're Ben and Shelley, and we're in the process of building our dream home on wheels. It's not our first van, but this one's bigger, smarter, and a little bit fancy. So far we've soundproofed and insulated, fitted ceiling fans and water tanks, built the ultimate pull-up bed, and sort of the full off-grid electrical setup. With Shelley's dad Terry helping out on the tools, we're slowly piecing together our ultimate off-grid van, one project at a time.
Okay, so today we're fitting the diesel heater. It's been a long road to get here. We've had to jump through lots of obstacles. Hooey, wish you could smell what I'm smelling. The sweet smell of diesel first thing in the morning.
I love the smell of diesel in the morning.
That's right. First BS moment of the van. We got a leak in the diesel. So in the van, it's going to be sitting just behind the fridge, which is going to be hidden behind all of the cabinets, so it's out of the way. Now, there are different options of diesel heaters you can get. You can obviously spend a lot of money on them and have all the bells and whistles, super high tech. Or you can go for the cheaper, more affordable models. There's nothing wrong with these. There's tons of Facebook groups and YouTube videos and information on all of those. And they predominantly come as either Bluetooth or not Bluetooth. We opted to go not for Bluetooth just because if you need your phone to use the controller to turn it on, your phone's not around, bit of a pain. So our one actually comes with a little remote, which is great because then we can just put it wherever. It's easy and it's just simple on off. So with the heater, it also comes with just a little monitor screen, and that will show you all of the information. We're going to tuck that away inside of our water cabinet because it's not something we're going to be using every day. Certainly not on days like this where it's literally 40 degrees. It's like at 9 a.m. and I think it's 37 and it's getting up to 40 today. It is brutal. So yeah, we wouldn't want a heater on a day like today. But when we get down to Tassie, that's when the heater will be. So because of the location of the heater, we're fitting it behind the fridge, but because the kitchen is tight, we don't want to take up any more room in the van. We're mounting the heater on top of a little steel box, which gives us 20mm extra room pushing it back. That means it'll fit snugly and can tuck away easily out of the way. We don't have to worry about it. And that makes it easier for the wires and cords and feed line to come up through the bottom of the tank and not get tangled up underneath. Let's take you along for the ride.
So most diesel heaters come with a small tank that you would fill up with, you guessed it, diesel, and run in a feeder line. But instead we're feeding us straight into a fuel tank, as this is a diesel van, which means we don't have an extra tank to top up the fuel for the heater to actually work.
So this is the unit just here. As you can see, we've got it sat on this little steel box. So the wires will come up through the bottom into there. And it's coming and fitting just here. Right up. Because the fridge is sitting here.
Now a couple of weeks ago, we actually did make a box out of some leftover steel in the shed, which looked great on camera, but overall we weren't happy with how it turned out. And by we, I mean Terry, ever the perfectionist. So we bought a piece of steel and cut it down. But I'm not one to waste good footage, so here's some cool shots of the old box, you know, just in case you want to do that yourself.
Whole lot of cables going on here. We're getting there. Don't look there.
Normally this flat plate, that plate is flat. I bent it to fit around this piece of 90mm box. The reason we've done this is to save ourselves about 25mm in the kitchen, which seems a little extreme, but we're just trying to maximise the space in the kitchen, because this fits basically behind the refrigerator and between the seats, so it's an otherwise wasted space. But I've designed this so it will give us an offset. See the pipes coming in here are offset to that being there, so it gives us that little bit of extra room. hopefully this will all work nice and easily. Notice I said hopefully. Exhaust is fairly tight to bend.
So the exhaust wasn't fitting on right, so what we've done is just bend the pipe down the bottom to allow it to fit through the box. Bit more bending required.
Just about there. Yep.
Ta-da! So now we got to flip this upside down and plonk both of these through the holes on the floor there, along with the feed line, which is going to connect to the other one underneath. And then there's got the power line, which is hooking up somewhere, I believe. Truth be told, I don't know all too much about diesel heaters. It's not my department.
Can't be right. Can't have gone that easy. Must be something wrong. Now just lift up slightly, Ben, so I can get this fuel line out straight. Is that sitting down fairly flush now?
Right, you're expecting more of a fight.
Of course I was. Nothing ever goes that easily.
Shook this.
Well, that went in a bit easier. That's in there what I thought. So now we're just going to bolt this down. Obviously, connect the wiring and everything up. And this will fit. This is the line our kitchen comes to. So we just clear the kitchen now and the fridge, which is cool. And on the end of here, I'm just going to get some of those plastic bash end caps to clean it up and seal it up. Also underneath where the pipes and everything come through, I'll silicone that up to stop any dust and everything from coming up through there, and that will stop anything from the plastic caps if they just knock in. But yes, that's pretty happy with that actually. That's made a good use of space. This will then just run down and come out at the front of the kitchen, where would be a kickboard, but we don't have kickboards as such, only in this little section for there. So yeah, worked pretty good.
Nice.
Amazing.
One job done for the day.
Oh yeah. Oh, stop. Go hook it all up downstairs.
So it's fit on real nice and snug, but we're just going to take it off again because, as you saw, we had to bend the exhaust to fit in through the hole, and it's now just slightly touching the wood a bit more than we'd like. So we're going to cut the wood out so the van hopefully doesn't catch on fire. Alright, it's moment of truth. We're gonna put the diesel heater to the test and turn it on for its first run. Even though it was 44 degrees yesterday. Haven't looked today, it's not as bad, but yesterday I felt like I was melting. I'm melting! Fingers crossed it goes well and we can be cozy and warm. Wish us luck.
So we're in the midst of a heat wave. You know, extreme heat warnings on our phones. So, what a time to test the diesel heater, hey?
Yep.
We have to test it because of where we're putting it. It goes behind our kitchen unit. If we want to put the kitchen unit in, best to check it now. Obviously, you can get to this. It'll just be a big pain in the bum. So, let's see how it works. And let's sweat it.
You plug that in, yeah.
Nah. Moment of truth.
Oh! 1, 2.
Do you have a heat setting on it? The fan's on, but I don't know if the motor's on.
Turned it into a sauna. Nah, it's just hot air coming out. Winner. If you're doing this yourself, it takes a little while for it to work because there was a bit of air in the line.
In the diesel line.
So it just took a while for it to flush it out. And then So it was blowing cold air for 5 minutes or so, and then it started to work. Working great, too great. Right, let's turn off.
Meanwhile,
Let's get to work.
We bought a really nice piece of timber for the kitchen and bench tops, but it needed a bit of colour to really bring them to life. We bought a maple colour stain from Bunnings and applied a couple of coats. Once they had dried, we then finished it off with a couple of layers of food grade clear coat on top, sanding between each layer to make sure that it was smooth as could be. With the diesel heater locked in, we could finally secure the kitchen unit in place. This part isn't really glamorous, it's just a lot of lifting, nudging and realising something's half a millimetre off, and then doing it all again. Just through the holes.
That doesn't look like it's had a thing in it.
Unless it's flipped upside down, because I would have painted it when we took the whole thing apart.
Oh yeah.
Once the bench was dry, it was finally time for a moment that we've been waiting for, fitting the entire kitchen unit in place. This is the part where everything we've been building starts to really come together. With the base kitchen in, we moved on to the overhead and splashback, the last pieces that really tie this whole area together. For the kitchen splashback, we simply used adhesive tiles from Kmart. They look great, weigh next to nothing, and if we change our minds, we can always peel them off and put something else on at a later date. And just like that, the kitchen actually looked like a kitchen.
Haven't you already done this?
No?
Oh, okay.
What would I
I think you did. Just try not to put too much weight on this part of your shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you climb through that side.
Yeah.
It'll probably be okay, but
It's not going to be a frequent occurrence.
I'll wrap this episode up here with the main foundation of the kitchen in place. Tune in next time as we get those recesses looking nice and arch-like. If you like this video, please drop a like, comment below and hit subscribe. It really does help. See you then.
no, that's wrong.